Hello there, Kaiser here. I finally finished tracking Wuthering Waves' Tower of Adversity HP values that I've been working on for the past month. Your first question might be asking, why is it taking you so long? Why don't you just use Hakushin, that one datamine compilation site for the big 4 gacha games, like you did for Zenless Zone Zero Shiyu Defense HP values? Well, I'll get into that. As for Tower of Adversity HP values, there's at least 2 times where Hakushin popped up on Twitter. First by Lunar Emerald around 2 months ago, and then again by White Ze about a week ago on May 27th. I actually responded to White Ze's post, seeing that I was about to finish my HP values chart, and pointed out how Hakushin was doing weird stuff with their HP values. And so maybe I guess White Zed took down his post to avoid spreading misinformation, but he was kind enough to provide me with his records of Hakushin's data, so I might compare how Hakushin's base values compare to live server values in a future update. Oh, and that one joke chart that was shared on St. Tontus' stream by one of his hate watchers. But Hakushin isn't accurate with those numbers. What I think is that they are base values, and then there is a file that modifies enemy HP values based on the kind of content you will fight them in. That being said, I spent the greater part of the last month taking screenshots of HP bars of current and past TOA clears, dumping them in Photoshop, pulling out the ruler tool, and using that to count pixels based on the amount of damage that was dealt to the enemy. And holy shit, there are so many HP bars. I did the same thing for Zenless Zone Zero on one occasion. Well, let's just say it wasn't a good experience. Zenless Zone Zero HP bars wobble inside the UI casing. Not to mention the design of the casing is slanted and it's not really clear where the HP bar ends. That being said, the number that I had measured from a kind Zenless Zone Zero player on the St. Tontus server that provided me a clip, let's just say that counting the numbers was difficult, measuring the HP bar was difficult, and I don't think I'm going to be verifying all of the ZZZ values because I can't really expect anyone to not sweat on the game and take a break to let the HP bar wobble around so I can find a good frame to start measuring from. Even then, the number that I measured out was quite close to what Hakushin had, so I'll continue trusting Hakushin with Zenless Zone Zero for now. Anyways, I got this pixel measurement technique from my time in Destiny 2. Destiny 2... I miss well skating.
I can hear the shifting roots across the pyramid's architecture. Taste the paracausality on my tongue.
I learned it from a YouTuber, Aegis, who was trying to find a way to effectively test damage to find the most efficient damage setup for each boss in the game. He found a tool called the Destiny Damage Tracker, which calculates the boss's current HP based on the number of pixels that are taken off of the boss's HP bar as a result of damage that's being dealt to it. And that's basically what I did. I took that method, I dealt damage, I counted damage, and then I counted pixels using the Photoshop ruler. I probably should have used pixel count, but I only thought of it after filling out the entire sheet. Oh, sue me. And so here we are. Yes, ZZZ's numbers are going up, Genshin's have gone up too, and you all know the situation with HSR. Wuthering Waves has HP inflation as well. But keep in mind that mechanics featuring damage reduction, which have been implemented in each of the Hoyoverse titles, have not yet come to Wuthering Waves. In this case, raw HP values can only tell a part of the story because damage per second is a metric that happens while combat is going on and is not clearly reflected on paper. I don't know whether it's necessary for me to say this, but damage reduction, defense increase, invulnerability phases, whatever you want to call it, is just another word for HP inflation. This is my take on the matter though. HP inflation is a natural part of a live service game's lifespan, as a measure to keep players engaged with a challenge as they acquire new characters and or better gear. HP inflation only becomes an issue when it becomes rampant, increasing in a short period of time as a result of developers underestimating how much additional power is given to players in a short period of time. This is when the player base calls a new character or new equipment imbalanced. Having said that, with the way Kuro does their balancing and testing, Wuthering Waves' first limited character, our General GN, can still handedly stomp tower, and he doesn't even have his premium sub DPS yet. Perhaps this may incentivize Hoyoverse content creators to showcase past limited characters or team lineups, tackle the endgame, and see if they are still able to clear at C0, E0, M0, and with a base rank signature or two. I only include this restriction because much of the player base does not spend money or are monthly sub only, and it's in their best prolonged enjoyment to not pull past the initial copy of a character, and I expect fewer players to have signatures in the first place due to the non-guarantee nature of signature weapons in the Hoyoverse titles. Because if older characters aren't able to clear the endgame anymore, probably less of an HP inflation value and more of a feature creep issue, because Hoyo seems to have a penchant for creating a conundrum for the players and then selling them the solution. Sure, one can make the argument that these mechanics can still be bypassed without having to use the shield characters, but it's still a pain in the ass to do so. Compare this with Wuthering Waves, where they first suggest using counter special move echoes, which all characters are capable of equipping, and even the Sentry construct, which goes cocoon mode to recover vibration strength, and all characters have access to the grapple hook to swing behind it to knock it out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. WuWa's HP inflation has gone up about 40ish% over the past year, and a certain first limited character can still clear the game even without his premium sub DPS. So I think WuWa is in a pretty good spot in terms of how endgame is being balanced and how character kits are being balanced. But maybe we'll see in the second generation of Wuthering Waves main damage dealers, because those sub DPS outro buffs do look really high. But yeah, that'll be it for me. I'll stick with Kuro a bit longer. We're getting a good amount of content in 2.4, and I still need to complete all my 2.3 content, considering how much time I spent counting pixels of HP bars of all things. So yeah, that'll be it for me. See you all in Septimont then. This is Caiser, signing out.